This episode of On the Delivery is brought to you by Haley Bug Creations. Any sticker or decal that you want, she can make. You want to customize? She can do that too. Check out her Etsy shop. The link is in the episode description. There you will find a large variety of different decals and stickers made from premium vinyl that is sure to last. So guys, get yourself or someone you know, a Schmedlex, Smiley, or whatever company they work for. Get them the sticker, okay? You will not be disappointed. They will not be disappointed by the quality of these decals. And now, let's get on with the show. What's up, everybody, and thank you for joining us on this episode of On the Delivery, episode 91. Guys, I am your host, Dave, and joining us, you guys know him, my co-host down in West by God, Virginia.
Fuck.
Luke, how are you on this fine evening?
To say I got some stories to tell tonight would be a fucking understatement, but I'm doing well, man. It is as we record, it's midweek. I haven't quite started officially yet, but yeah, I'm feeling good, brother. Feeling good.
Yes. And quick apologies to everybody who was expecting an episode this past week, but it was the holiday. So, we took that time to spend it wisely with the ones that we love. And
we started though. We've always done like kind of. I think we did that year one, and we started after Memorial, so technically we were underway. But yeah, for Monday holidays, we've always, if we haven't released anything on the day, we might have done it the day after. But yeah, we just it just kind of coincides with everything since nobody's. Whenever you may listen to it, I don't know if people some listen to it all days of the week, but yeah, so we just kind of I don't know, that was sort of one of those unwritten rules, kind of like Sunday recordings. Till shout out to Daniel the Warrior. Literally almost episode 9. We were almost 90 episodes in until we finally recorded every day of the week.
I know. Seriously, we're like, what the heck's wrong with us? Guys, we would go around the table, but hey, listen, this is what's going on, okay? The Rogans are still rolling. They are in Virginia and currently, but their cell service is a little, in and out. So they are joining us just silently.
In spirit. I mean, in digital spirit. They're there. They're just choppy.
And our producer, Nate, is just enjoying some cooking festivities at the moment. So he is away too. So it's just, guys, it's just Luke and I. You get just Luke and me tonight, okay?
So I'm assuming I will ask, since you will not get to hear the classic Nate's good radio voice that you'll just, I always said, when we were talking about this, not to go into too much detail about it, but when we do meet, I've always had the idea of just like grabbing Nate and I'm just showing that he exists. I was like, he's like Jimmy Hoffa out there. Just people wonder if they could even find him. But no, Nate, he's just not on social. He's not on social media. That's what I mean. Just simply not to be on social media these days makes you like Bigfoot. Yeah,
or the unicorn.
Yeah, the unicorn. But I'm assuming did he work today?
Yes.
So I'm assuming he probably got his ass kicked and got off late.
No, he got it done before me.
Oh, no shit.
Way before me.
Oh man, I thought maybe he
had a great day today.
I thought he was getting smacked around by cardboard and got done at like 9:30.
It was hot as balls today up here. Like this temperature, it's weird right now. So like, like the day before was like 70, 75, perfect weather, you know?
Right.
And then today it was like, yeah, fuck you. We're going to shoot right up to 95 and it's going to be hot as fuck. And that's what we were dealing with today. It was one of those ones where like, it sucks because it just came out of nowhere. And then you're like, oh God. And you're really focusing on keeping yourself hydrated. Cause man, when you get that headache, and
Oh
those
yeah.
heat headaches kick in, man, you're just fucked. There's no saving it after that.
There's one thing that they've always said with I've always heard them saying PCMs a lot over the years, and that is, when you excuse me, when you feel like you're already thirsty or you have the urge of being thirsty,
Too late.
it's already too late. And that's so true. I've always that like I feel like every time when I've gotten to that point, and that's happened here recently. Like I didn't work today. Like I said, I hadn't officially started my day. I ended up getting I wasn't expecting it, but was sort of tentatively hoping it because I've, as many of appointments I can get to with Ashley, I'm going to. So I want that today being one of those days. So I took it and all's going well on that front as well. But that being said, as far as the heat goes, when I ran out a little bit later, I went down to see my grandmother because my aunt that's staying down there right now, she's leaving in a couple days. So I wanted to see her one more time. And, I was off work. We had gotten back from the appointment. So I was like, oh, this is perfect. And fuck, man, it was like 3:00 when I left there. And I went outside because we just stayed in, over there. And she's got AC and whatnot. And I was like, man, yeah. I'm glad I didn't have to work in this shit today. I would have been chugging a gallon of water.
So because it was so hot, right? I had that one address today. And I want to talk about this now because this would be a funny conversation to have. So I had that one address. The one address I've talked about before on the podcast. The one with the nudist.
They strike again, huh?
Oh, yeah. Buddy, I saw that address in my dyad and I was like, oh no, please. I was like, it's a fucking beautiful day outside. Please do not be outside again because they don't use the front door. And like I said, they had the sign on the front door that says, please bring packages around back.
Yeah.
And that's where this motherfucker always is. He's always around back. So sure as shit, I come walking through the fence to the back door and there he is, butt ass naked, holding the garden hose, watering his plants, watering his garden.
Perfect.
Hey man, how's it going? Oh, I'm like, God damn it. Oh my God damn it.
Just not given 2 fucks.
Not a single fuck was given. Not a single one.
I gotta say, I have to admire this dude a little bit for not giving a shit because it is pretty amazing. Because I was recently in Charlotte and I was walking around Charlotte on Saturday. I guess I could tell that story in a little bit, but the fact that he's just to be completely nude, not give a fuck, just a complete. I mean, I guess technically you're not really a stranger. He knows who you are at this point, but still, you're not like just not caring if somebody's coming around the corner, not fucking giving a shit.
No, he doesn't care who it is. He doesn't care who walks around that corner. You know,
Yeah.
Like it could be like his like niece or something, or his nephew, or like his daughter, or just a family member.
Yeah,
and like he doesn't give a fuck if somebody shows up.
And how old is this dude? Would you say?
Got to be in his 60s.
Oh man. Oh.
So like, here's my question for you. Okay? Do nudists make you uncomfortable?
I mean, no, I haven't been across too many nudists per se. I've been around people that do not wear many clothes. I've had friends that wear that, that's dudes and women alike that have, and I'm as a dude, God, there's been so many times I would walk around in just boxers completely. Actually, I used to have a saying, but that was always alcohol infused. I used to always say, if you never see me naked, because I'd black out, may or may not piss my pants and would wake up just completely. I walked into a park. I mean, I'm talking brooms full. I'm a broom full of people, butt fucking naked. And there was at least 20 deep in there. I gave 2 shits, but because I just woke up and was absolutely survival mode, shit faced under normal circumstances, I would never just walk into a room with 20 people completely fucking naked. And this guy probably would if he was able to. Like, I'm not saying this dude's not going to walk into somebody else's house naked. 20 people, especially if there's Jesus. Yeah, he's got to obey some rules, but in his own domain, if there's 20 people in his house, he wouldn't give a shit to be stone cold sober and walk and see 20 people fucking naked.
Right. So it's like, because it doesn't make like whatever. Like, I'm totally fine with all that. Like, it doesn't bother me. Like, there'd be some people it would bother. I'm sure some people would like, we would be bothered by that. But it doesn't bother me. But it's
they
like,
call it a birthday suit for a reason.
Exactly. But it's like, on the other hand, I'm just like, I didn't ask for it though. Like, I didn't ask to see this man's junk just fucking flapping in the wind, dude.
Right.
It's yeah.
I mean, it just is one of those. It's just one of those things that, I mean, if that's your lifestyle, and actually, this can roll right into a story of not feeling uncomfortable at all. If your lifestyle is how you live, and if you believe in it, if you go by, it's not going to bother you. So, let me tell you. Let me tell you about this Charlotte trip, just the story of the lifestyle thing. Because we were just talking about I think that Kate. So it was the episode before last, because Kayla was the most recent one. And we were talking about dressing, wearing nice clothes and stuff. And I was telling you about Elon Musk money. If, it wouldn't matter, I'd still. So just to summarize this Charlotte trip, it was a bachelor party for an old friend, and I haven't been to Charlotte since my younger days. I went through there a few times when I was in college, going to Myrtle Beach, and then the last time I was there was when I graduated college until a few weekends ago. And so it was only a 2-day trip. I've said before on the podcast, am I retired from drinking like that? Well, Saturday morning, not feeling too good, Dave, and I'm just sorry. I'm just hanging on. I'm in survival mode, and I'm like, God, man, I shouldn't have. And it didn't help that I walked 2 miles back to where we stayed, because I don't have Uber or anything, and I just stumbled and fumbled, and it was like 95 degrees. Yeah, it was hot.
Oh my God.
So the next day, I will myself, and I have the same pair of cargos that I had on the night before when I walked these 2 miles, that I may or may not have taken some pit stop knees on the sidewalk. So these cargos were a little stained up. I had a cut off shirt on and a pair of flip flops, and I'm absolutely feeling fucking. I'm like, man, I'm hungover. I'm not feeling terrible yet, but we go to get food, and this one place where we're going to get food, where we went to first. We park in the parking lot. There's 2 Teslas, 2 Corvettes, like a Hummer, nice as fuck cars. I'm like, oh, this is a place where people, we got some classy people here, huh? And we don't go in there because the wait's too long, so we go across the street. And I'm so glad we did, for other than the reason if I'd did this over there, they probably would have thrown me out. And so we go to this other place, and they have like this breakfast buffet set up, but it was like a Thai restaurant place, so they had breakfast on request. I just go and grab a couple things from the fucking buffet, man. I haven't had a buffet in fucking 2.5 since before COVID, dude. And I was sitting there thinking, like, man, this is the first time you don't fucking realize how long certain shit's been. I eat a little bit of this food. Immediately, I'm like, Jesus, big mistake. I'm going to throw up. I violently puke. I violently puke. I always have when I throw up. You'll hear me from another county. And and that's exactly what was going through my head. And I thought, I can't go into the bathroom of this place because it'll be too loud. It'll make a scene. So, I just kick in my instincts and I'm like, I'll go outside. Not, just completely forgetting I'm not in West by God, Virginia. I'm smack dab in the middle of downtown Charlotte. I'm in the fucking, I'm in a city of a couple million people. I'm like, fuck, man. I'm looking around. There's nowhere for me to like go discreetly fucking throw up, and it's coming, dude. I can feel the sweat coming off my head, and I'm like, Jesus, it's getting worse and worse. So I'm sitting there in these stained cargo shorts and this cut off shirt. And I go up and I see this like fucking sewer grate. And I just like kind of speed walk right to it and just start fucking puking. And it's right in front of the restaurant that we were literally going to go eat at, that had the Teslas and the Corvettes in the parking lot, and there was people eating outside, and I could just hear them. Like, it was like literally watching in a movie where you hear a crowd of people go, "Oh!" their brunch had to ruin their brunch. But the best part about it was the shirt that I had on was a Myrtle Beach, South Carolina shirt, because I had a couple of people were like, was it a West Virginia fucking shirt? Yeah, I was like, no. I had a Myrtle Beach, South Carolina shirt on. So at least they didn't see
like a fucking tourist.
Yeah, it didn't give away the West Virginia fucking shit.
Oh my God.
That was one little fucking quick story, but yeah. And I didn't even care. As soon as it was done, I looked up and just smiled, and like I was like, "Oh man, I feel good now." Nobody there knows who I am. I just trotted back in there like everything was just fine. So, like I said, it's about your element. Nudists have theirs. I mean, I can go out in public wear it looking like a absolute. I mean, I pack clothes too. That's what's weird. Like, I had Ashley pack me all kinds of shit, and I still wore shit from the night before.
Oh man, that's good.
Well, dude, before
Go ahead.
I was going to say before we get into this part, I just wanted to also give an update real quick because I put it in here about on Kayla's episode talking about that cat, the pregnant cat. Update on that. She had kittens, and the neighbor has them now, and she's doing fine. They're all doing fine. It was crazy because I told Dave, I said, we as humans, we have all these precautions we take. Like Ashley and I are going to the doctor every week now and doing all this shit. And this fucking cat, we had a trash bag with sticks in it. Broken up sticks for this pine tree. I just had this cat I walked outside to weed eat, and the fucking cat was just in this trash bag with sticks. And I was like, Ash, you need to call the neighbor. I think we got something going on. I'm like, you know what I mean? I was like, this thinking nature cat's like, oh, look, here's a trash bag, bro. I'll just fucking.
This is a great place.
Yeah, it's a fucking great spot. Yeah, I was like, God, fucking nature's a fucking crazy thing. But yeah, just to give a slight update, they're all doing well. And it's fucking crazy because I will say this real quick. I've never actually seen anything like I've never seen puppies or kittens or anything that were literally just born before.
Yeah.
Dude, that was fucking wild, dude. They were like literally like the size of my finger. Yeah, it was fucking nuts, dude. wild shit. But yeah, all's well on that front.
Oh, that's awesome. Dude, that's funny. This cow is just trying to get inside your house the entire time, and then
dude,
then
the entire fucking
holy fuck.
time.
Like, wait a second, you're a little stiff down there. You pregnant?
Dude, and what's crazy about like the whole thing is that as soon as they said that, and I looked, but you know, like a pregnant belly, how they feel, how a pregnant belly's hard. Dude, it felt the same way. As soon as I touched that cat's stomach, I was like, fuck. So we are having this fucking sucks. But luckily our neighbor was I mean, I don't know exactly. We're going to try to find. I don't think she's going to keep them permanently, but she's keeping them till they're good, and we're going to try to get them to good homes. But yeah, she did me a solid because that's the last fucking thing I needed in this house. I couldn't have them here. We couldn't do it, dude. I was like, we can't have this. We can't have fucking 5 cats in this house. We're all out of
dogs.
Yeah, with our dogs, my sanity. Ashley's pregnant.
And your wife's about to have a kid.
Yeah, fuck, dude. It would be a fucking disaster.
Oh man. Yeah, dude. That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, dude. They're so fucking small though. Like when they first come out, it's insane.
Yeah, dude. Like, and what was crazy was the 2 looked exactly like she did. And the other 2 basically, so I don't know exactly where this other one came from, but like I have a pretty, just putting 2 and 2 together. When she kind of came around, this other one was sort of there too, but he wasn't really like, he didn't approach us. So we just kind of assumed, we're like, yeah, this must be assuming the fucking dad. But that's the thing though, dude. Like I saw that firsthand, and you hear about it all the time. And I have friends of mine that are vets and vet techs and in that field. And, they always like talk about spay and neutering cats, and dude, and dogs as well, but definitely cats. 'Cause mostly dogs, for the most part, you don't see, I mean, at least you don't see stray dogs like you see stray cats, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At least not here. I'm not saying certain areas you wouldn't, but yeah, dude. So like, I just saw that straight up. Like, fuck, man, that's so true. Here's this fucking cat. Just like, if we wouldn't have been there, this cat's just fucking. And but that's how they fucking live, dude. They're scrappy. I mean, they obviously some of them survive. But what was crazy, just to give a fucking crazy fact, I didn't realize, like, once they give birth, they can, like, I think, be pregnant and give birth again within 9 weeks. So they can literally like fuck, they like breed like rabbits. So it's, yeah, that's what I was like. Are we if we can get vouchers and get all these fuckers neutered and spayed, we can have them around, I guess. But I'm not having a cat farm at our house.
Oh man, that's good. Shit.
Well, speaking of craziness, dude, because you got that on, it's in the notes too. And when this episode comes out, we'll have a few
craziness. Yes,
we'll have a few games in for everybody. Dave, it's established that Dave's a hockey guy. That's well known on here, and his New York Rangers. I won't say I've kind of hopped on the bandwagon. And they beat Pittsburgh, which makes it even fucking better.
The Rangers are relentless in the playoffs right now. Like being down 3-1 in a best out of 7 series, being down 3-1, coming back, winning 3 straight to eliminate the Penguins. And then the Rangers are down against Carolina 3-2 in the next series, come back, win the next 2 games. And then eliminate the Carolina Hurricanes. And now they're moving on to Tampa.
The problem is that you don't want to have that strategy every series, because eventually it's going to
I just want to lead in a series and just be a little, just breathe. Just breathe.
Dude.
The Rangers haven't led in a series yet.
You just need to be you need to be happy if they split the first 2 games, dude. You just be happy with
Just
that.
win the first one, so I can be like,
fuck,
okay.
man. Dude, we got past guest John Hilligus, Tampa Bay Lightning is who they're playing.
Dun, 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 dun.
And John he's a big hockey guy. Him and Dave they've been talking. And I was trying to think like that would be an illustration to have because it'd be in a series because this will be going on when this episode, no matter what, this series will still be going on when this episode's released, no matter what happens with the first few games. But I don't know, dude. It's just fun.
I wonder if he would shave his beard. Like if we made a bet, you think he'd shave his beard if the Rangers won?
I hope
think he has that much confidence in his team.
I don't know if I'd want him to make that bet because I wouldn't want him to lose. I'd rather shave my mustache. I'd rather tell him I'd sacrifice my mustache. I'd rather, I'll say that, John, if you want to make that bet, I'd shave my mustache for you so you could save the beard because Ashley would be fucking thrilled with that. And the more I kept thinking, I was like, I'm probably going to have to trim this thing up at least when my daughter's born because I was like, God, I can't be kissing a newborn with this thing. It's a fucking jungle up there. It's like I just got a bunch of swords above my lips.
Okay, like what about his head? Maybe I can get him to shave his head.
Shit, dude. I just saw he shaved his head and that fucking guy's hairline, rock solid.
Oh, he does got a rock solid.
Yeah, rock solid hairline. I'll say that, John. I wouldn't if you would want to shave your beard on that bet, feel free. But if you would want to sacrifice it, maybe I would do the mustache. It grows back anyway. Fuck. I couldn't grow that beard. I don't think I think by the time I could grow a beard like John's, we would be on I don't know, like I can grow facial hair within, like, you remember on Joe Dirt, how he says it like comes in. He's like, so you're telling me it just comes in all white, trashy, naturally like I could only grow facial hair in certain spots. But no, for me to have a beard like it'd probably take me fucking considering my it'd probably take me 5 years. I don't even know. I'd have to fucking just comb out my mustache like a comb over. Just trying to comb it over on each side of my face. But nah, man, I think it's fucking awesome, dude. This is the first time since we've started this podcast is almost 2 years old, and this is the first time that they've been in the playoffs, and they're in the fucking Eastern Conference Finals. So,
oh yeah,
I'm fucking stoked,
dude. It's crazy.
It's awesome for me because I don't really have. And this is really like, yeah, it sucks for you kind of thing. Like, I don't have anything to lose with it. Like, I'm enjoying this because this is you're a diehard hockey fan, kind of like how I used to watch hockey with my friends that were Penguins fans. I enjoyed playoff hockey because playoff hockey is fucking awesome to watch. But it's not gonna devastate me as bad as it'll devastate you if they lose this series. So that's what I feel like I have no pressure on me. I'm just enjoying the ride.
It's almost like I would have rather them just lose so I don't have to deal with it. It's like, fuck. It's like we've gotten this far. You have to go all the way now.
Well, let me ask you this. Does because I don't know much about. So, say hypothetically, if they would get past Tampa, the other two teams in the West, if they could beat Tampa, is Tampa better than the two teams in the West they would face?
I'd be worried most about Colorado, the Colorado Avalanche.
I saw Colorado. They had a series. Their last series, they got pushed. Did they not? Did I not see that right?
No, Colorado. No.
Maybe that might have been somebody else I was looking at. I don't know.
Colorado's been sitting for a little while. They've been waiting just like Tampa has. Tampa swept the Florida Panthers for 4-0.
Oh, shit. Yeah. They've just been hanging out watching the Rangers.
They've been just hanging out waiting to see who their opponent's going to be.
Shit, yeah.
But, John Hilligus said his beard cannot be involved.
Yeah. I mean, that's a big fucking.
I know.
That
makes him up. Like that's John.
That, yeah, man. That's like, I mean, that's literally like telling Thor he'd have to bet his hammer. Like, just be like, Thor could bet Asgard. Just but don't make him bet that fucking hammer, man. That's what makes Thor Thor.
Shit. Yeah. So I don't. So yeah. You know, I don't know. I don't know if John and I are going to be friends during this series or not. You know what I mean? It's gonna be one of those things. Because he's a diehard, just like I am. So,
well,
John, good luck to your team, buddy.
It is. I mean, you know, just it makes it fucking fun, and it makes it way more interesting, especially when you know people like, you know, are on that. Because I don't really like, as much as I like watching basketball, I don't really have that in the NBA. Like, I can't think of anybody. The only thing I can say that I did not realize, kind of a random thing. This guy coached at Fairmont State, where I went to college, but he played at West Virginia University, and I don't know. I don't know if he probably wouldn't know me by name. If he saw me, he would recognize me. But I didn't even realize. So his name's Joe Mazzulla. Joe Mazzulla was a point guard at West Virginia, and he coached at Fairmont State. And I didn't really realize. I didn't really realize what happened. You know, it was just kind of one of the things. I wasn't keeping track of what he was doing or whatever. He left, and you know, I just sort of. So I was watching the Eastern Conference Finals in the NBA, and it was Boston and the Miami Heat. And I'm looking at the Boston sidelines, and like Boston's head coach and the dude standing beside him. I'm like, fuck, man, that's Joe Mazzulla. And I'm like, fucking Joe Mazzulla is like the assistant coach for the Celtics. Had no fucking clue. So I was like, well, I mean, shit. I guess now I can pull for Boston, I guess, because there's a West Virginia guy on the fucking, you know, on the staff. But I don't have it, you know, I don't know anybody. I mean, I don't know if Fitzy might be a Celtics fan. I'm assuming Fitz is not. I mean, I can't see him not being a Celtics fan. If he's an NBA fan, I would be shocked if he's not a Celtics fan.
Yeah.
Shocked. I don't know. What it'd be funny if he'd be like a Lakers fan, especially with his age growing up, man. Like being a kid, being a Lakers fan, his age back in Boston, like in that area, then shit, that'd have been right in the height. That'd have been right in the height of the bird. Oh shit! Now I got to know. Let us know. Let us know that, Fit. I'm assuming you're a Celtics fan, but yeah. Anyways, good luck for both. You know, like I said, I'm going to pull John. I'm going to pull. I've committed to the Rangers this year. And I told Dave on a betting note, just to say, because I called this my call it the degeneracy or just the eye of seeing things. I just happened to look at it in the morning, and once I saw it, like I kept looking at it because Carolina hadn't lost a home game. It opened up at minus 150, and I'm looking at it, and it keeps going down. They're like it was like minus 150, and I saw it like minus 140. Then it was minus 135, and it kept going down and down. And I was looking at percentages, and like all the percentages that I could find, every public sports book, everybody was betting on Carolina. I was like, I told Ashley, I was like, I think we got a live one. And I texted Dave. I was like, I watched Karate Kid too. That's my pro. I was like, they're going to win this fucking game.
And like, you know what's so great about, I mean, this is the last thing I'll talk about with hockey, but I could talk about it all night long because I'm still riding that high after that Game 7 win. But
not high, man.
It's going to be a great series for sure because you have. It's funny because on the Eastern Conference Finals and the Western Conference Finals, okay, on the Western Conference Finals, you got Colorado Avalanche versus the Edmonton Oilers. You got two of the greatest, like, just forwards in the game playing against each other in that series with Nathan McKinnon in Colorado and then Connor McDavid in Edmonton. So you got these two just powerhouse just forwards that are just unreal with the puck. And then in the East, you got the two best goaltenders in the league playing each other, with Igor Shesterkin with the Rangers and then Vasilevsky with the Tampa Bay Lightning. Like like those two goalies are the best goalies in the league. Like Vasilevsky's he is unreal too. So it's gonna be fucking fun to watch. So
Basically,
I'm excited. I know John's excited for it too, and whew, here we go.
So basically, you're just telling me the under. If I'm going to bet on, I should bet the under because that's two good goalies going at it. It'd be hard.
Goalies.
And that's fun because either way, whoever wins that game, at least in the Stanley Cup, it'll literally look like it'd still be a good showdown.
Oh yeah. Yeah, man. I don't know. It's gonna be fun to watch for sure. So, but anyways.
Oh man,
Go Rangers.
Go Rangers. Absolutely.
So you had some crazy evening recently, huh?
Dude, this is about to take a turn into the old serious fucking way, because I've always, and we've spoke about it on this podcast plenty, and I've always said it with Frank Ordonez when we spoke about him, of wrong place, wrong time, being in a situation, just coming across a bad situation, and it going south even further. And we've had and other, we've seen a lot of things with literally, I don't even know what you would call it, like freaks of nature kind of acts, like that plane recently that crashed on that, shit, this stuff, like literally you don't ever think of things like that happening to you ever. And I was always, and I said this on I posted a video about this. If you follow me on Instagram, I didn't put it on like my main profile grid, but it like was on the page, because I didn't know, with everything that just happening, like legal wise, I didn't want to really I was just making it for the people that I've followed, been across on Instagram for a while, and people that you care about and you see, and just to kind of make it as a reminder. But just to say what had happened was, I found out a little bit more about this since I made that video. The guys were not from our area. They literally had stolen a van in South Carolina, and were supposedly they were coming up here like as a drug hit, I guess, to find somebody. And there's always been like, I don't want to really say rumors, but there's always been like word of having like some type of like a cartel connection with another area, that there's always been like a drug connection around this area anyway. And these guys were like from like El Salvador or something. So I don't know if it had anything to do. I literally don't know anything about that stuff. That's just stuff that I've heard before in the past. But we all thought like it had to be more than what it was, because literally what had happened was they were shoplifting at a Walmart in Clark. And this was one where this was at. They were probably about 15 miles south of me at this point. And when I guess somebody approached them, they shot at the police, and then they took off. So then they get on the highway, and they're shooting at the police that are pursuing them on the highway. They're like telling people, they're telling people to stay off 79 and all this crazy shit. And these guys are coming north towards where our center's at, where I'm at. And literally as I got off the exit, so when I get off work on my routes, and my area is literally the cutoff of the neighboring center. So there's only 2 routes out there. It's me and one other guy. And we only have from that stretch of highway on 79, it's 79 north. It's like 3/4 of a mile. That's it. So we're barely on the highway. We don't have any other trucks out there. So luckily, nobody else would have even come close to encountering this either. But so just to say it like this, I get off of the exit. When I get off the exit, our center is like 0.2 of a mile away. Literally, if there's no traffic, if you get off the exit and go left, you can get there probably like a minute. It's quick. I get off the exit. I go down there. I have my sound bar blasting. I was just jamming music, having a good old time. Everything's fine. And when I come down, I see people standing outside. And then, like, I pull in and everybody's looking and they're like, "Did you hear that?" I said, "No, I had my music up. What's up?" And they said, "We just heard a bunch of gunshots." I said, "Holy fucking shit. No, I had no, I was like, I didn't hear a fucking thing. I just had my music on." And first off, I was like, "Sure it wasn't fireworks?" Like, "Nope, definitely gunshots." Like, heard 8 or 9 of them. Another driver comes down that was finishing out his break. He was just punching out, turning his board in. He was up at the gas station and saw the whole thing fucking happen, where they cut across the median. And I don't know if they were going to try to U-turn to go back south, and they wrecked on the guardrail. As soon as they wrecked on the guardrail, they got out and started shooting. So he told me that those guys, because I'm in the right lane. It's 3/4 of a mile. I don't even fucking pay. I'm not paying one bit of a fucking, I'm in the right lane, about to get off the exit and go. I don't look in my side mirrors. I don't see anything. Because literally this had happened that fast that by the time I got off the exit and got down to our center, which, like I said, it's like 0.2 of a mile of a way, this had already happened. So he saw the whole thing go down, or like he said, I got off the exit and those dudes they blew by me. They went by me. I wasn't even, I didn't see it because I went up and I'm going above them. Like when I get off of that exit, there's a bridge. So I went up and then I'm looking ahead, to turn left on the road to go to our building. I'm not looking at the highway. I didn't see none of that shit. But what fucking scared me about the wrong place, wrong time thing was, had that have been like 10 or 15 seconds earlier, I would have been right there. There's construction going on that road on the highway. So it's tight. There's still 2 lanes, but it's tight. They were shooting at the fucking cops on the highway anyway. I thought, like, had I been right behind them, they could have saw me there. They were already shooting at the cops. They could have fucking shot me just to make me wreck, or, to make the, I'm in a big old fucking tin can. If I wreck it, that's going to stop all of them. It's just like, that was what was fucking crazy about it. Cause it was a matter of seconds, and that shit could have been so much fucking worse. And I was like, that literally the wrong place, wrong time thing. It's fucking insane. That probably may never happen. So hopefully it'll never happen again in my career. But to go a little further into it, they went, so they got loose, and one of them got shot and 2 were on foot, and there was like a 5-hour fucking search for these guys. One of them they ended up getting probably like 30 minutes into it. The other one, it took forever. And my parents were at my niece's gymnastics thing. They weren't really close, but there was somebody that heard, they had active shooters, so they had them locked in. So you have all this shit that's happened recently and everything that's going on, dude. When you hear, like, to say the situation, nobody got hurt. The only person that got hurt with it was one of the people trying to, that was literally shooting at the police and trying to fucking, hurt people themselves. Like, no, but just like you have that feeling, dude, of helplessness. And I can't even fucking imagine. Like, I didn't want to really get too much into that, but you know, obviously Uvalde happened very recently. And dude, when you hear like people locked in and you know, you hear active shooter, Jesus, dude, it's a scary fucking feeling, dude. It's a helpless fucking feeling to have. And I don't even know where I could say or where to begin on that stuff. I've said this, and I've said this to you on the phone. I'll go ahead and fucking say this because everybody, I've talked about being from West Virginia, and I've been a gun guy my whole life. All I'm going to say is, like I've said, I don't talk about politics on here very often, but I talk to Dave and Nate. They hear plenty, and I say stuff about compromise. There is going to have to be something done of both sides coming together to figure out a situation with this. I'm not going to get into that on here because that, as Dave could talk about the Rangers, I could talk about that shit for fucking hours. I'm a very pro Second Amendment guy, but I've made a Facebook post probably like 3 years ago about this. And I've had a lot of people, both sides of the spectrum, say that was about the best, most logical, because I have some, like I said, I didn't want to fucking get into it all on here, but I wanted it to be said at least that there's going to have to be, both sides are going to have to see a little bit of each other's to realize that, yes, they're both right to an extent, but they need to work together on this because something does need to be fucking done. And that, like I said, I'm not gonna that if you want to message me or message Paul, you want my opinion on that, I will tell you, and I would publicly say it. But like I said, I'm not fucking doing. That could be on a whole nother podcast. But I have my opinions on some things, but there definitely needs to be a solution, and people need to work. I mean, and that's not even just with this. You can say that with everything. There needs to be more of a fucking united front, not so much division. But that's a whole, like I said, I'll anyways myself. Midterms are coming up. I might be running for president again in 2 years. Just remember to vote.
Totally.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Yeah, that shit's never fun to talk about. And
nah, dude.
It's very unfortunate with just all the shit that's happened in the United States recently.
It's been fucking terrible, dude. And I said this to you on the phone too, or when we were on the phone too. I said, you know, because I especially when we had Danielle, when we had Dave's wife on there, and I said the thing about homeschool. I said I never fucking. It was just joking humor, but I said, fuck, you know, shit. Said, yeah, who's gonna joke about that shit now with everything? But yeah, something. The only thing of I don't know if I've said this on the podcast before, but this is something that would make total sense. Just to lay out a fucking one thing that could prevent these things is Ashley's high school had metal detectors. She had no idea that other schools didn't have metal detectors. I was like, fuck it, my school. Yeah. At that point, you didn't have to get buzzed in. I could walk right in. And when you were, you know, that age, you could walk into whatever high school you were nearby at that point too. You know what I mean? I was like, fuck, you know, if you could, there wasn't, most of them you couldn't even, like, now when you deliver to a school, at least most of them that I've ever seen or been around, you have to get buzzed in. You can't just walk in anymore.
Right.
But metal detectors, I don't give a fuck if it could come from the fucking military budget for all I care. Every school should have a metal. If they make an entry where you have to get buzzed in, every fucking school should have metal detectors now. I don't care if it's an inner city where it's a rough area, or if there's a fucking multi-million-dollar ski resort, fucking high class place right beside it. I don't give a shit. Every fucking school should have a metal detector, and that's a start, and that's a thing that a lot of people, no matter what. I didn't want to fucking get into it so much, but you can't, if you pass, like, you can't wait. Like, if you wave a magic wand, no matter what, you could talk any level of guns. There's been even ARs were banned at one time, because that was when I started collecting guns, the ban was still on those things, but that was lifted almost 20 years ago. But you think handguns, revolvers, shotguns, everything for century. It's like they're not going to just go. So steps could be put in place, and that's the one. And I don't, like I said, I didn't even want to go that far, but that I feel like that's fucking obvious.
Yeah.
And that's what I've said when I said military budget, because that's what a lot of people say. They're like, well, they don't give. I'm like, well, fuck it then. Get it from the fucking military budget. We fucking put plenty of money into that shit. I don't give a fuck. If that's what you got to do, I don't want to fucking get into this war, but we just put a lot of money, tens of billions of dollars into a war we're technically not even in. So military budget, that's all I'm going to fucking say.
All right.
Anyways, yes. Please.
It is true though.
Yeah, I know.
Question of the week. It's that time for in the episode, guys, for the question of the week. This one comes from our very own Luke. This one is, has there been a time on road you felt like a hero? I can be a hero, babe. All right. I don't know why that one came into my mind. There's so many.
Dude, I always share them.
Day that a hero can save.
I shared it. I always share the question of the week on the Nomad account. Yep. And when I shared it, I put the Foo Fighters Hero. So that might have been, yeah. I mean, yeah. Just
so many hero songs that for some reason Enrique Iglesias or whatever the fuck his goddamn name is.
Yeah, no, that was a good one. That was fuck that. They can make fun of me all they want to. I couldn't name me another fucking. Was that Enrique Iglesias? I can be your hero, baby.
I can be your hero, baby. Oh yeah, I can hear it in my head. That's definitely him. That's definitely. Anyways, that's besides the point, because this is about the question of the week. So here we go. Has there been a time on road you felt like a hero? First one is from Patreon subscriber Tony Cook. Tony says, on a less than serious note, I kind of feel like Quiet, the hero every day, just being able to complete the daunting task that they call a route. It's true.
It is true. That's so true, Tony, because there's a lot of, especially in the last couple of years with COVID and everything. Yes, that is so true.
That's it.
You're doing good deeds out there, brother.
That's it. This one here is from Porno Parcel says, fuck no, I'm the villain in this. It's more like, have you ever seen a group of people on the sidewalk and you just think, or is that just me? No. I see tow trucks with their ramps, and I think GTA, and I just want to take that bitch and just fucking jump it. I think that.
I've thought of ramming through so much shit. So yeah, I've thought about just fucking oh yeah, I can already think of 2 times road work. I've thought about using that thing as a big old battery ram a time or two.
Oh yeah,
I could say that
100%. His next one is from Jerica Greenthumb. Jerica says, my boyfriend's mother is a paramedic, and they had a call of a cardiac patient, and he was in a brand new subdivision that had not been updated to any GPS. So dispatch had no idea where to send any ambulance, fire trucks, or the police. She got turn-by-turn directions from me to the house, and then directed fire and police to the house. The patient had coded, and they were able to get his heart rhythm back and saved his life. It's a running joke among them that she has her own TomTom, and it's called A Gurger, Jerica, a Gurger. So she gave directions to her boyfriend's mother because she obviously knows her way around town.
Yes. Yes. I mean, but let me give a little, let me say something with whenever we first mentioned, there was that, it's been some episodes back now. And it was when we talked about Jerica with the plants, like ordering plants, dude. I swear to God, since then, I don't know if it's just because I paid attention or maybe because it's, springtime moving into summer, but I have been delivering a shit ton of beat to shit plants. I mean, just terrible packaging. The soil is just fucking rolling out of every time I see them, I'm
a
like,
single loader follows the goddamn directions on the box. This is live plants this way up and they're upside down. Your shelf's covered with soil.
Every time I see one, I'm always like, it always reminds me, like, fuck, I gotta remember to see where Jerica gets her shit because there's no way she ships these things. There's no way.
No way. She's gotta have like a nursery or something, garden nursery or something over there.
Yeah, right.
Next one is from past guest Kayla K Fit Ruges. I forgot how to pronounce her name.
Rujeski?
Fuck. God damn it. David. So terrible.
Rushetsky, I think.
Kayla Rushetsky.
Yes, that's right. Man, see, now I feel bad because we should know that.
I know.
She's just the most recent guest. Damn.
Love you, Kayla.
You got an easy name like mine. You got a painter. That's an easy one. Those are easy.
Kayla says, I am a fairly new driver, so no great heroic stories just yet, but it's the small gestures that go a long way. I remember delivering a box of cold food to an elderly man. I waited at the door to be sure he'd receive it, and it wouldn't sit outside. He came to the door and asked if I could bring it inside. He was using a walker and struggled doing just that, walking. So I brought it inside, probably 45-pound box, set it on his kitchen counter, and he was just the most appreciative man and didn't think he would even get his food that day. It seemed to make his day. He was delighted, and in turn, it definitely made mine.
Nice.
Job well done. Ashley at Haley Bug Creation says, every day I don't hit something.
Hey, that's something. I'll take it.
Give Me More Cosplay says, I saved a few dogs once. They got out of their owner's backyard and were wandering the road. Grabbed both of them in time as another aggressive towards other dogs.
Another aggressive
dog. Oh, another dog got out too that was aggressive towards dogs. Guess it was Let Your Dogs Roam Free Day.
Yeah, West by God, Virginia, buddy.
Dustin Coakley says, I haven't had much of that yet, but a lot of people treat me like a hero. They treat me like I'm a war veteran or something, and it's nuts, even though I don't feel like one. I do appreciate the kind words, though.
Good deal.
Fernando at Loiza Jr. 16 says, I was in a retirement community on a very windy day when I approached a person lying on the floor on the sidewalk. I realized her walker was laying beside her, so I stopped and asked her if she can move and if she wanted me to help her up. She had a cut on her head and was bleeding and was scared. I asked her where she lived, and it took her a second to say the next street over. Eventually, when she was ready to get up, I helped her up, and I walked her over to her house. Her husband was in tears, thankful for me bringing her home. Me and that man shared many good conversations about life and being a good husband after that. I always made sure to stop and say hi until the day they moved back home. Awesome. The Cowboy Cardboard Warrior says, yes, just a recent Saturday, I had an error on this one road and decided to do the neighborhood that road led to. Four stops. The lady at the first stop was so excited that I bought her insurance check before the bank closed so she could go buy a new car. And that she asked if she could hug me. And she did.
Nice.
Brad Mosier, simple 2-letter answer says no. No.
Oh, Brad, I beg to differ.
Yeah, that dude's he definitely does some good shit in his
I
life.
bet he was a hero one time. He's just being modest.
This one here is from Sean Avery at Good Ship. Sean says, I once witnessed a cat get hit by an oncoming car. The car kept going. I stopped and stayed with the cat until help arrived. I ended up reuniting with the cat days later at the vet that was also on the route. She had an amputation but survived, and they were able to locate the owner despite an expired microchip.
Nice.
Holy shit.
That's a good one. I mean, it sucks they lost a limb, but still lived.
Absolutely. This one here is from Mario M0. Mario says every day.
Nice.
Every day. This one here is from Rickstar26. Rick, our one and only DHL driver listener, says
I was waiting.
peak season 2019 and lockdown 2020 was working at DHL Monday through Friday and Amazon on the weekends. 7 days, nonstop. Whoo! Putting in that work. Lindsay Ann 808 says, live in an area where it gets below negative 40 degrees Celsius in the winter. I have rescued many, a cat and a couple dogs, from being frozen to death. Holy shit.
Nice.
This one here is from Ben Ingersoll. Ben says, tried pulling a man out of a rolled over on fire SUV out near Memphis, Tennessee. Jesus Christ. Unfortunately, I failed. Fortunately, the man was deceased on impact of the accident and didn't feel the pain of burning to death. Having to tell the state trooper he was dead was tough after I wrapped my arms around him to try and give one last tug at him as he was pinned in the car. A day I will never forget.
Damn, that would be fucking tough.
Holy fuck. Rocky Mountain Rod said, hard to remember all the times I've been a hero out in the trenches. But most recently, I was driving along and saw this older gentleman had gotten his riding lawnmower stuck on a culvert. He was just about to get his truck to pull it out, but then the hero in brown showed up. I implemented the 8 keys to lifting and lowering and picked the back end up and sent him on his mowing journey. He said thanks, and I left with my head held high. So out in the trenches, I assume, Jacob, you served in the armed forces. And thank you.
Yeah.
For your service.
Thank you, brother.
This one here is from Ice. Last but not least, Isteenson14 says, put out a fence on fire once. Running around filling my trash can up with water. Completely forgot about the fire extinguisher in my truck. That's good. That's good.
Dude, we didn't this one we didn't get put up because I didn't see it. We got the next question up, but this one wasn't on the Facebook page. So I didn't see it on there, but I have 2 that I could say.
Yeah.
Of one was a dog that I found and literally stayed with me for 6 hours just literally in the truck, which was miserable for both of us because it was summertime and it was I had to ride with the doors fucking shut because obviously you can't have a fucking dog. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I couldn't leave a dog with the fucking doors open because I didn't want her to fly out of the fucking truck. And we had her for 2 weeks and ended up finding her owner and returned her. And so that was one. And then I had another one where I had this woman come out and her husband had a stroke. Now, not he had a stroke. He was back home, but she was trying to move him, and he just like I walk into her house. I mean, this was it's so weird to always have to keep saying pre-COVID, but this was pre-COVID, so this was fucking I can't remember when the fuck this was. It was probably 7 or 8 years ago at this point. And I went to pick him up, and I was like, or move him to where we could get him. I was like, nah, fuck this. So I ended up picking him up like this. Like I just picked him up like and was carrying him like a fucking, like I was just carrying like
Ragdoll.
Yeah, like you're carrying your bride after your bride to fucking consummate the marriage. And he's fucking like waving because he could only speak it like a whisper. And he's like,
oh God.
He's like, this is pretty fucking awkward, isn't it? And I was like, yeah. And then he looked over and he said, I gotta take a shit. And I was like, well, where do you want me to fucking put you? Because I was like, I'm not doing that. It's like, so I took him to the bathroom, plopped him up, but I didn't pull his pants down or nothing. I literally took him into his shitter, into the bathroom, and pulled him upright. And I told her, as soon as I got him, I was like, okay, you're good. He could hold himself up.
Oh my God.
So yeah, once I got to that, I got the fuck out of there. I didn't want to see her pull his pants.
I just pictured you when you're like holding him like that, and he's like, I gotta take a shit. Luke's like, I'm done. Just fucking drops him. Like,
well, I mean, the thought had crossed my mind, but no, I walked at a brisk pace with him in my fucking arms.
I mean, there was probably like one time for me, out on the road actually, and I was delivering and in a residential place, and I saw this old woman pushing her husband in a wheelchair. And her husband also, obviously, was older as well. And she couldn't get him up and over the curb. This poor woman. And I pulled up. I saw her struggling. And I went and I was like, maybe she'll get it by the time I get the package and come back out. Went in the back, got the package, came back out. The old woman's still struggling. I was like, all right, I got to go help, obviously. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just, you just gotta. And sure enough, I went and did, and the woman and I asked her, I was like, hey, you need some help? And she was like, oh my goodness, that would be amazing. Thank you so much. You're so kind. The woman was just so generous, and so thankful for that. And that was the one time for me. But
nice. That was good.
It's those little gestures that go a long way with people. But yeah, anyways, guys, Luke, do you have anything else?
No, brother, I think, like I said earlier, just always, if there's anything to take away from that crazy, that crazy ass story that I, had to, with the high speed chase and shootout and everything, like shit like that definitely doesn't happen every day, but just always, for a lot of listeners, man, the reason I wanted to say when I made that video is I was at West by God, Virginia. I'm not in a very populated area, and that shit can happen to me. It can happen to anybody. That was my whole point with the video. Right. And for all the listeners, everybody we've talked to, I fucking care about you guys, and I just always try to be best aware of your surrounding as you can, and just always it was a close call, but just I didn't want to call it a wake up call, but it was a big what if moment that I realized was a very, very close what if. So yeah, that was really all that I would have to take away. Just and that's part of the methods too, is be aware of your surroundings, I guess. Just be a little bit more aware than that than what they may say.
That's right. And like we say, guys, don't forget your most important stop, all right? So whatever you got to do to get there, do it. And also don't forget, continue delivering greatness, guys, out there. This is episode 91. We'll catch you guys next week. Let's go, Rangers!
Let's go. Later, everybody.